Rule of man is sugar. Poverty is obesity. For over 30 years since the beginnings of my writings, and certain writers before me, it was pointed out that the rule of man is mankind's scourge that causes poverty. But today, people still follow the highly publicized major political parties as American poverty explodes. However, I've noticed after 30 years, through my writings, people are one by one beginning to pay attention to the message that rule of man is society's enemy. Rule of man is so very seductive because of entitlement programs paid to over half our population, and because of special relationships with big businesses and big unions. Rule of man has been hard to leave behind. But as more and more people see reality and get the message firmly in their heads that the temptations of rule of man will destroy their standards of living, and, in turn, as they get on board with TVP, their poverty will begin to vanish. Remember, sugar to the body is rule of man to civilization. Sugar in the body causes obesity and diabetes. Rule of man in civilization causes poverty and tyranny. To those listening, let it sink in that your one and only scourge of civilization is rule of man. Rule of man exists and can only exist through initiatory force. The 12 Visions Party, with its protection-only budget and prime law, is the only movement that targets the scourge of civilization. Eradicate the rule of man through the protection-only budget and the prime law, and our objective is met. All people will become rich, including the poor. The 12 Visions Party is both principle-driven and consequence-driven. The principle, eradicate rule of man. The consequence, everyone becomes wealthy, including the poor.
When we return, we'll hear more from visionary and founder of the 12 Visions Party, Mark Hamilton. For more information, visit 12visionsparty.com.
NTR. NTR is always on the search for quality products and services for our staff and for you, our listeners. One of those products is ManaV. Since 2005, ManaV has been a leader in the health and wellness industry. ManaV is a convenient beverage. Just 2 ounces a day and you'll feel the difference. Learn more about this amazing product. Contact Mike Sunderoff. Go to our website, ntrtalk.com, and click on the banner of the bottles of ManaV. Cheers.
Cobbler. Now, doesn't that word give you a feeling of warmth, comfort? It does for me. And that's why Classic Cobbler is NTR's choice for homemade cobbler pies. Order with me at classiccobbler.com. That's classiccobbler.com. Yum.
Buy, sell, or trade at this brand new auction site. udealmisc.com offers an extremely low cost to sellers, keeping more of your hard-earned dollars in your pocket. A special offer to new users. You'll receive 20 free basic listings and a $5 credit for every referral. Low cost to sellers and the convenience of PayPal. Buy, sell, or trade. Visit udealmisc.com. That's the letter U, dealmisc.com.
Find out how to get more leads and more cash for your home-based business. Learn more. Visit neothinkradio.com and click on the banner that says, Get them now.
NTR.
Where can you find like-minded people that are getting together to bring real change to our world? The Neothink Society. Join others in political, educational, spiritual, and business change. It's a new way of thinking, my friends. It's Neothink. Visit neothink.com.
NTR.
Neothink Radio Network.
NTR. NTR.
Neothink Radio Network. NTR Neothink Radio on the road to the White House with the 12 Visions Party. NTR is the only politically based talk show of its kind that actually gives you, the listener, the answers. No party bashing here. You will hear no debate and no argument from the 12 Visions Party, only the answers. Up next, founder of the 12 Visions Party, Mark Hamilton. He will give us detailed visions of what the 12 Visions Party, once elected into office, will do for our country.
NTR.
And now, founder of the 12 Visions Party, Mr. Mark Hamilton.
Throughout history, we've seen single-issue candidates who enjoyed surprising success. Remember Ross Perot? To simplify our involved and complex message, consider this single issue. We will make all people rich, including the poor. That's it. That's our sole issue we will be running under. Literally and emphatically, we absolutely plan to make everyone rich, including the poor. This is no political rhetoric or gimmick. For the first time, this is not some vote-gathering illusion. We expose the ruling class, unite the non-ruling class, then we end the rule of man through the protection-only budget and the prime law to launch the wealth of mankind. In short, the 12 Visions Party would swipe away the thick web of man-made regulations and nullify the many political agenda laws to set free the great technological revolution. The computer revolution was a small forerunner, a small cloud before the great technological storm. Computer buying power multiplied 1,000 times during the personal computer revolution. Everyone's buying power will multiply hundreds of times during the TVP-induced great technological revolution, making everyone rich, including the poor. The great technological revolution has never happened before. It requires the removal of the rule of man and all his controls, regulations, and bad ruling class laws. The only way to do that, to eradicate the rule of man, is to remove initiatory force with the prime law. We can start our way there with a protection-only budget. With a budget for our protection only, a budget consistent with the prime law, we quickly won't have funds for all those rule of man regulations holding back the great technological revolution. A TVP president would boldly submit a protection-only budget. Although Congress will fight it and reject it, the immediate economic benefits would be fast and furious, which will quickly lead to a great replacement program in which TVP candidates that would wash over Washington and wash away the rule of man, the ruling class as we know it. Although the consequences are clear and concrete, the complexities to get there are all answered in the TVP platform, which is at tvpnc.org. That's tvpnc.org, which stands for 12 Visions Party National Committee, tvpnc.org. Also spend time at 12visionsparty.com. To save our future from crippling debt and civil unrest, to end the rule of man and launch the wealth of mankind. Spend time at 12visionsparty.com. There I expose the ruling class and unite the non-ruling class. There I offer the path to a wealthy America, no longer shackled with a ruling class, no longer suffering with class struggles, no longer saturated with victims. The 12 Visions Party is for everyone in the non-ruling class. There are reasons people on the right could dislike us. There are reasons people on the left could dislike us. But there is a much stronger